Thursday, 30th of January, 2025. A momentous day for the 19 young women and girls who fled Afghanistan to Australia following the Taliban takeover in 2021. Back then, these players were all contracted members of the newly formed Afghanistan women's cricket squad. By the time the Taliban moved in, banning women's sport, they hadn't even played a match, and they suddenly feared for their lives. Now at Junction Oval in St Kilda, Melbourne, they've come together as refugees to form an Afghanistan 11. They're taking on a team called Cricket Without Borders in an exhibition match, the first organised game they have ever played as a group.
It's been 3 years, we've been in Australia and we haven't had a chance to be together, and it's very exciting, to be honest, to get together and spend some time and play absolutely in Junction Oval.
This game and this ground means a lot to us, and we want to open a lot of doors for Afghan girls around the world.
The players were helped to Australia in 2021 by three extraordinary women. Former Ashes winner turned commentator Mel Jones, Emma Staples from Cricket Victoria, and Dr. Catherine Ordway from the University of Canberra. They pulled every string they could to get the players out of Afghanistan, recognising the very real danger that these little-known players were in if they stayed in their home country.
At the worst-case scenario, it was death. The Taliban, by this stage, knew athletes, female athletes that were contracted to play sport. Obviously, as we all know, that's not something in their remit, so they were going from house to house finding these women. Now, was it to threaten them? Was it for something worse? Who knows? But the players were then burning equipment, burning scorebooks, burning any memorabilia that they ever had about them playing the game.
I didn't want to leave my country. My journey was a very long journey. I was living in Herat, which is western part of Afghanistan. So I moved to Kabul for 1 month. Taliban, they were checking all the hotels, and we didn't have any visa. So I just went to Kabul because my captain, she said, come to Kabul, there might be a chance that we get out of Afghanistan. So after 30 days of living with fear in Kabul, I got the Australian visa. The airport was closed in Kabul, so we get the chance to go to Pakistan, and then from Pakistan we came to Australia.
The Afghanistan Cricket Board contracted 22 young players in all. Forming a women's team was a condition of the country gaining Test status back in 2017 and getting access to the full ICC funding that goes with it. Now, of those 22 players, 2 fled to Canada, 1 to England, with the largest cohort going to Australia. And the fear was very real when the Taliban moved in.
During the time the Taliban came, I got depression of the situation, and that depression is in myself because I can see where the world is today and where Afghan women, they are fighting for their rights.
Once settled, the group in Australia wrote to the chair of the ICC in December 2022, asking about their status as contracted cricketers. In a written reply from the chief executive, they were told that that was a matter for the Afghanistan Cricket Board, the very body they were ostracised from. They asked if any of the ICC funding that went to the Afghan Cricket Board to pay them could be held back and redirected to support them overseas. The answer was the same. They wrote again to the chair of the ICC in June 2024. They asked that if they couldn't be recognised as a national team, could the ICC help fund them to form a refugee team based out of Australia? They got no reply.
We left everything in age of 16, 17, and all our girls, even we have a 15-year-old girl with us, that left everything and came to a new country. We were expecting that ICC will still reach out to us and ask us about the situation that we pass and be a bit more supportive to us. We deserve the same opportunity as men. We deserve the same opportunity as other women in other countries. We loved cricket.
You get an opportunity to step up, and that's exactly what Cricket Australia, Cricket Victoria, ACT Cricket and the clubs have done. A lot of people in cricket haven't. They've gone missing in this situation, but it's just so proud of the Australian cricket community for recognising the importance of these people as women to start with, the importance of their love of the game, and we've sort of spruiked for so many years that cricket's a game for all. So when something like this happens, this is where we are better, we do better, we see better.
On behalf of all the Afghan women's team, from Australian government, Victoria government, Cricket Australia, obviously, they've been our biggest supporters. Since we arrived in Australia on the first day, someone from Cricket Australia, which is Emma Staples, she is absolutely a legend, and she came and met us. Since that time, the Cricket Australia has been supporting us, and it's 3 years that we're living in Australia. We always had the chance and the opportunities that Cricket Australia gave us.
For us, it's we will give you a high-performance program that we can then take you on tours and play equivalent sides around the world. We can help you with your education, your health. There's still a lot of trauma to be dealt with, and we're certainly not going to shy away from that as well. But we want you to be the best individuals and cricketers you can be. You tell us how that looks, and we'll put that in place for you.
Yeah, it's really exciting to be able to launch a fundraising drive now to raise money for Afghan women around the world who love cricket and want to have the same opportunities as men. They're not asking for anything more than that. And given the funding that the International Cricket Council has, to be able to split that in two would be the first most obvious thing. The funding that they're spending on the Afghan men's team should also be provided to develop women around the world that want to play cricket. But in the meantime, we're also fundraising to assist women for both their education, which is crucial, and also for their cricket and sporting dreams.
I think we as a team want more support. We need ICC support, we need international support. This game is not just for us. When we walk into this ground, we remember millions of women in Afghanistan who are fighting for their rights, and give the women in Afghanistan that hope, and that for our young girls that they're living in Afghanistan, give them the chance to dream, to think that they can achieve anything they want.
Back here in the UK, the England and Wales Cricket Board has been put under pressure by a group of MPs who have called on England's men to boycott their upcoming Champions Trophy match against Afghanistan in protest at the Taliban's oppressive regime.
We're asking for the membership of the ICC to take collective action, to recognise the gender apartheid, which is clear to all that is taking place in Afghanistan, whilst at the same time providing perhaps symbols of hope outside of Afghanistan. And I think this is where the game in Melbourne and other such projects have a significant role to play.
The ICC say their role is to support their member, the Afghan Cricket Board, and that they want to support it in ensuring playing opportunities for both men and women. In continuing to fully support the Afghanistan men's team, the ICC are maintaining its position that no players should be penalised due to the actions of their governments. The question is, will the ICC do anything to support these women who have been penalised due to the actions of their governments? For now, though, the women have come together and they have played. And who knows, maybe one day, weather permitting, they'll get the chance to play here as a recognised Afghanistan refugee team.